Hi, my name is LolaAjisafe. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I want to quickly say thank you. The last video I put out, there was a lot of love of it. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you. So housekeeping rules, don't forget to like the video. The algorithm loves the likes. Doesn't matter if you like the last video, please like the current one. So as you come in, you hit play, press like. Don't forget to write. I read all the comments. And most of the time, I have something to say, go back and forth, a nice interaction. And if you haven't subscribed yet, down there, not thumbs down, point down, and hit the subscribe button. So what are we doing today? Porsha's Family Matters. This is episode 4. Title of the episode is Dennis the Menace. Now, you know, when I start something, I finish something. So whatever happens, we're going to get to the end of this together, okay? So we continue. Scene starts with, they're still at that first night, the dinner. And then, Porsha's, still going on about the robe. Now, the question for me right now is, there was some kind of, talk behind the scenes with the producers asking, Porsha, whose robe is it? Porsha's like, well, she was kind of here. Long and short, the robe belongs to Dennis, but she says she's confiscated the robe for herself. Simon, that's your lady, that's your fiance. That's not good look for you. Anyway, so we know it's Dennis's robe. She's trying to keep it. She actually says that she still wears it sometimes. Please, write down in the comments. You broke up with someone. Do you still wear his stuff? And if you're with somebody else, how does that person feel that you're wearing your ex's stuff? And, part of the reason why you say that you broke up with him and moved on was the fact that he cheated on you. So why do you want any reminders of the man around you or on your person? Something doesn't smell right in this water. And we're still trying to unravel what's going on. She still wants to keep the robe. She wants the robe back. Sis, with all those checks, you engaged to a millionaire, reportedly a millionaire, but you beefing over a robe? Come on, Porsha. Act like you're a wealthy woman. Act like it. Pretend it will come. Because we're looking at you like you had some cheddar. You had a couple bucks. You had a coin. You had a bag. But you're acting like you from the hood with no bag. Like really beefing with your ex, your baby daddy over his robe. Anyway, let me get off the robe gate because robe gate was last week, but we just kind of started with. So what do we do this week? They try and simmer down, and so everyone is talking. They tell them to go around the table to talk about stuff. Okay, Miss Darlene, Stormy's mama. So we know there's a story there because I have said in the past, an episode behind that, I felt like Stormy looks up to Porsha because she also wants to be Princess Tatiana. She likes that status. She likes, the thought of, dating wealthy men. She likes the thought of just the way Porsha carries herself. She looks up to and wants to be another Porsha. So the only person she'll look to or respects is Porsha. Now, some insight as to why she's like that is from what her mother, Darlene, said today. Mom says that, I've been busy with work or whatever the case may be. And a couple of years where I didn't really give you that time and attention. Now, if I remember correctly, Stormy's 19 or 20 or 21. One of them ages. So maybe mom is now confessing that, through the formative years, particularly teenage years, she wasn't around now. We don't know as to what amount or what she was. She was completely, totally absent. We don't know the extent of it. It hasn't been unraveled yet. But the fact remains that, Stormy was left to run amok, which is why she's acting like she acts now. She's got her... her character, just the way she behaves, it explains more. Do I have more compassion for her? Let's see as it goes along and see what goes on. But then there's an explanation. There's always an explanation for behavior. She's misbehaving because she doesn't want around to, smack her across the head and say, yo, stop, pull back, fall back, sit down and behave. So we know this now. Now, my dear, we call her Aunt Liz. This is on Papa's side. Hosea Williams, that was her papa. She come in, her portion, because it was meant to be a namaste moment around the table, what they want to release. I think that's what they were talking about. She talk about, yo, Porsha, Lauren, all the people you call family, I don't know who they is. Like, why they here? Like, she looked straight at Dom, who was, I think, is Lauren's friend, Porsha's ex-assistant. Like, you ain't fam. I don't know who you is. Like, why you here? Like, Aunt Liz, she keeps it straight. Like, she cut through that BS with, like, a samurai sword. I get what she's saying. But at the same time, Aunt Liz, they're trying to film a show. They need a couple more people just to try and beef it up, make it interesting, So that's why they're there. But Aunt Liz, I like the fact that you keeping it real. You just looking around like, I don't know any of these people. I know PJ's, daddy. I look at this dude, Simon. Like, I know a couple of these people. The rest of them, why they here? Why they pretending to be fam? I feel you. But she was saying that, it made me remember, I think it was Mariah Carey, when Mariah Carey was somewhere. I think they showed her Jennifer Lopez's picture, and she said, "I don't know that woman." And Liz said she don't know these people. Why they in front of me? Why we filming together? Why they all mic'd up with me? We not the same people. So Stormy's turn. Get the mic. I don't know what she said. She didn't say anything of any significance that I can recollect. I just remember that she didn't address her mother, who had then, her mother then, when her mother had it's not a mic, I'm sorry, a little pencil or brown thing, whatever it was. Her mother had said that she felt bad about it, and not to force Stormy that, because you process information in your own time, you shouldn't be forced. But she didn't acknowledge anything her mother said, and she was talking about some beef on the table, or I don't know. I think she was looking at, let's long and short, she was looking at Londi, like she wanted beef with Londi. Like, Londi gonna crush you, sis. Like, you all of, 5'2", 80 pounds soaking wet. Like, why? Let this beef go. I know there's some beefs with family that you'll just be beefing and holding on when you get together. Stormy let it go. But Stormy didn't address it. Dennis like, yo, talk to your mother, address it. Like, your mother just open her heart up to you, say some, Stormy not having it. She just, rah, going along, Dennis goes on to, talk about the family. Family's broken. Dennis says here that, Porsha is considered to be like the head of the family. And this throws me back to a scene 2 episodes ago, the barbecue, when I looked at all the women in Porsha's family. If y'all are looking at Porsha as the head of the family, with the way she carries herself and the way she behaves, and I don't know this lady personally, just based on what I see on clips that were shown on Bravo TV. If this is the head of the family, Houston, we have a problem. That's all I have. She's the head because she's the one with the most cheddar. That's what it looked like to me. But Houston, there's a problem. There is a problem if you're looking at her as the head. From episode to episode, I've begun to enjoy Dennis. I've begun to see, I see. Okay, this guy, there's something to him. Got personality, he's interesting. I guess more so than the others on the show. So, but he says something that, he's here because he wants to bond with Simon because they're going to be co-parenting. He wants to get that thing together. He's Simon and Porsha. He wants to fit. He wants to make sure that it works properly for PJ's sake. Love that. Now, does he really mean it? Because he's still, wondering like what Porsha doing with this fellow. And it seems weird. And I'd love to hear the breakdown, because my understanding initially was that, the meeting of Porsha and, Simon was somehow through Dennis. Like maybe he and Dennis had done a couple things. I mean, if they're acquaintances, I guess they don't know each other. But I feel like they know more than they're saying that they know. But they have to do something in front of the cameras. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments, because I feel like they know each other a little bit better than what they're playing out to be. Like, I want to get to know him. Not in the biblical sense anyway, but get to know him somehow. I thought y'all knew each other before. Stormy starts, talking crazy, talking reckless to Uncle Dennis, because that's your uncle, sis. Like, he had 20 on you. Like, and then, Dennis was like, yo, and nobody checked her. Her surrogate mom, Porsha, didn't check her at all. Even her mother, I guess Darlene can't check it because Darlene's already confessed that she hasn't really been a mother figure to her daughter. So Darlene can't say nothing. Nobody says nothing to Londi, trying to keep her down. Lawrence, trying to play a mediator. Dennis lost it. He told her to shut the F up, and everybody turned into him all of a sudden. They want to come down on Dennis. He's a man. Why is he talking to her? Like, little sis needs to be checked. Should Dennis have said that? Dennis shouldn't have said that. I'm sure he will acknowledge that he shouldn't have said that if we ask him. But he just had enough. Like, we're not the same. We're different generations. Don't you ever address me like that. In fact, when you talk to me, keep your head down. Look at my feet when you're talking to me. And of course, Aunt Liz, in her confessional, she said that apparently Stormy don't know how to talk to her elders. She has no respect for her elders other than Porsha. So we're all seeing the same thing. Like, she respects $ and Tatiana way. So after this, we already know from last week that, Dennis having one of his lame friends, we don't know if it's red or blue or 1 or 2, she coming over. And so, he had appropriately discussed something with Porsha's assistant. I don't remember her name. I think her name is Lauren too. Whatever her name is, that, you leave this suite, come and share the suite with Lauren and Londi. I need to have my own space. I'm a grown-ass man. And then, Londi got that and was, facilitating that. Pack your stuff up. It's nice, right? Pack up. Let's go. And then, of course, Dennis comes in with his stuff, and then they're going along. And then there's a part right before he gets there where, Lauren is acting like she doesn't understand why Dennis wants a room. Now I don't know if that's just for the sake of TV magic, reality TV stuff, just to keep like the stuff going. But at this point, London's making enough sense to get the situation under control, get them out the room, so the grown ass man can have his room. Like what you people want with him? At this point, you guys, I hope you know that he needs to be in most of the scenes because he makes the stuff interesting, both in person and in his confessional. So finally, after the, I don't know what kind of dinner it was, if you want to call it successful. I mean, I guess sometimes when you have a breakdown, then you can begin to build up. So maybe it was successful because there was like a breakdown. I don't know. So let's keep this going. Simon, Porsha sitting down, and they discuss the night, and he's talking with her, and Simon's talking sense. Talking sense right here. He's like, look, he wants Dennis to stay because he agrees as a man that they have to co-parent with over PJ, and it will be in all of their interests to get it together, get their acts together, and be able to communicate appropriately. 1 point for you there, Simon. I agree. And then he finally, I think, not that he heard me speak because we know this was pre-recorded before I had my last video, but finally I'm seeing Simon, he put his back up. Like, sis, you need to pack every ounce of that man's stuff and return it as soon as I'm done with this conversation. Porsha then argues, she said, yes, sir. Exactly. Like, it's ridiculous. Why are you hanging on to that man's stuff? Something needs to be. I just want to get to the end of it. I want a proper explanation as to why she thinks she has the right to keep on stuff. Like, why she thinks she needs to confiscate the man's robe. Like, stop it. Anyway, thank you, Simon, for telling your fiance that it was something that she should have known. Common sense. She should have known. It's not her stuff. Like, why you... I think it tells us a little bit about how Porsha might be attached to material things. Because why on earth would you clutter your beloved house with the man who cheated on you while you were pregnant with his stuff? I don't understand it. Please make us all understand it. I don't like clutter. Especially if it's not my stuff. I would give you like 1-2 days to get that stuff out quick. But you are holding on to it. Are you a hoarder? Both emotionally and with physical things. I don't know. But anyway, you put it upside down, turn around, like, what does it mean? So I'm going to leave this until we can keep going. So following morning, Simon and Dennis meet up. I like that. Simon follows through on his promise to invite, Dennis for breakfast. They talk. He's like, this is important. Let's get this thing together. And I like here Dennis says that, what, he gets that his mother, sometimes tends to get into his business, and he does tell her that it's none of your business, ma. But low key, he don't mind it. He needs someone to talk with and talk about Porsha too. So I get it. So he doesn't want her to openly intervene, but he can go back and give her a ring. I'm like, ma, can you imagine what this blah 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 did? So I get you. But look, all the same, Dennis wants peace. And at the end of the conversation, he's like, yo, could you tell your lady that I'm having a lady friend coming over? I just want you to let her know. And that's the thing. It's like, why does he have to ask for permission? And I insist, when things don't make sense, that means we don't have all the facts. What wool are they trying to pull over our eyes that Dennis not pushover? We know this. Why does he think he needs to garner, Porsha's permission? Why is everybody tiptoeing around this lady? Is there something we don't know? Or are you all trying to say she's a tyrant? She's a spoiled brat? I don't know, but Porsha don't make it look good. So here, my man, Dennis, in his confessional after his breakfast with Simon, he kind of recaps something Simon had said, how, like, when he leaves a woman, stuff, usually within a day or two, or usually within a day, I think he said 24 hours, if I remember correctly, he has a moving company get his stuff, move his out, and it's going on to the next spot. And then Dennis cracks a little side, like, shady joke, like, in the confessional, like, yo, this guy he's go, like, I think he said, a couple divorces under his belt. Like, he experienced in leaving that, Porsha needs to be prepped for that. Then it's going to be shady to the end. But he's making the show interesting. Like, you just did kumbaya with the guy, like, low key in the confessional, you come for him. Like, his lady needs to be ready, that he prepped. He's ready on go. Like, he has a moving company on standby, so he can get his stuff out in 24 hours or less. Cute joke. I know it was. What I like here, and this is something just an aside. See how the men are relating. They may not be totally, in love with each other, head to, they get each other hand pound, but it was just a very easy conversation. As women, why can't we do that? Why are we always, and we're all different, and so maybe these men are different in terms of how they express themselves emotionally, but sometimes you can just say some things and just leave them on the table where they are. Don't have to, yeah, it doesn't have to be difficult, but sometimes I think as women, sometimes we make it difficult because by all intents and purposes, man one is across the table from man two, and man two, Simon, stole man one's girl, Dennis, and by some accounts, they knew each other before. So, in my opinion, some guy code rules were broken. But it seems that even if Dennis has not completely let it go, he's not going to be caught, tussling, pulling his shirt off yet, in terms of, trying to get his point across or making known that he was wronged. He's just like, there's a time and a place, and you choose your battles. Right now, Porsha's made her decision. He's not ready to make it uncomfortable or just be catty, because you do see a lot of women in that similar situation. It wouldn't have gone down like that. Production would have had security around while they're having that conversation, and I wish it wasn't like that. And I know it's not like that for all women, but it so happens that the women they're putting on reality TV feel the need to zazazah it up when they're faced in those kind of situations. That's what I think. Because I know there's some women who just sit by, you can have him. I'm good. Deuces. But yeah. So it's like, the guys look cool as hell. Women, we look crazy when we're in that similar situation. Let's work on it. So actually, with all the talk that, Dennis made, he actually showed up for the meditation that Lauren had discussed at the table prior. I think she said it was 8 a.m. He's like, shit, gee, I'm asleep. But no, he actually showed up. They sat down. They had the meditation. The producers had some shady moments where, because I think the instruction at the time was, imagine who you have, something with, and you release it. And everyone in the camera does, ooh, this, movie magic. And then, for Lundy, they show Stormy. For Dennis, they show Porsha. Like, they just go on like that. Like, it's funny. But anyway, they finish. And, Dennis, after he's had that moment of meditation, I think he's got to calm down. He immediately apologizes to both, Aunt Liz and to Lauren, that I'm sorry for my behavior last night. I shouldn't have done that. Forgive me. And that's the love that, Porsha's family, like those members of her family have for him. They know the real Dennis. We're human. But the fact that he can be open enough, he might be acting for us. He might just have me fooled completely. But we're just going to go with it until he shows me otherwise. But just vulnerable enough to say, a man enough to apologize. And he holds their hands. And I think he says something, I love you guys. And then, you can feel that moment. It's like, I wish, Gina, gangster granny, Gigi, was there, because he tried to explain her behavior. He said that, everything happened, like the breakup happened so abruptly for her. So she's still grappling to come to terms with the fact that she's no longer a part of that family, so to say, now that they've broken up. I don't know how true that is, but, at least he's there. He's defending his mom and wants peace. I'm not mad at Dennis. Keeps racking these points up, serving and, getting those points. 6 love. So, family's heading off to somewhere called Cenote. It's meant to be some sinkhole, something about, burying, wherever this was, looked like a circular pool of water that looked interesting, and they end up jumping in. But as they're getting there, they all go in a coach, sitting down, and it just strikes me again. So, Porsha walks in, with her fiance, Simon. And yet again, it just strikes me that how Porsha can flaunt her fiance, so supposedly she's moved on, but Dennis can't have a date. I'm uncomfortable for Dennis. How about that? Again, after they finish, I think before they finish playing, or after they finish playing at this little side pool called Cenote, they have another moment of release of just kumbaya, let's namaste, so we can make the show look interesting, and maybe we can, get some stuff up, get some stuff going, or settle our beef. Looking for an authentic moment. Of course, Dennis delivers, but before I get there, Lonnie talk about she want patience. She directing this bar, but at logo Stormy, like, yo, Stormy, I want to have patience with us. I'm gonna knock you out. Darlene has like a holy catch the spirit moment. Like, I'm like looking around, like, sis, like, it's not church. I don't know. So you more and more begin to understand why Stormy seems tortured. because the moment when she was catching the spirit was when they had convinced her daughter to stand up and hug her, and then she catching the spirit. I don't want to be unsympathetic, but I didn't know. I don't get it, and of course it's edited, so of course I won't get it. But by all intents and purposes, it made her look a little bit crazy, and just so she catches the spirit, finishes catching the spirit, then goes to hug her daughter. Then we keep this mic moving on to the next person. Aunt Liz, she once again emphasizes, that she is Hosea, William's daughter, so she wants, release the spirits of the people from the civil rights movement. I like Aunt Liz. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to judge her for that. I'm not going to judge her for just throwing, name dropping right there. I'm not going to judge her because I like her. Gina, talk about some forgiveness. All right, Gina. All right, you're trying. And of course, Dennis delivers on this scene as usual. Dennis talk about, and you could feel it. I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling it because I'm buying what he's selling, or just because he really is being, sincere and authentic. He acknowledges, his mother, like what's important to him. Like all the other stuff, all the other stuff is not important. Make sure his mother's good. Make sure PJ is good. Those are his responsibilities. Everything else is inconsequential. Period. Point blank. Boom. Porsha, you hear that? That man's robe is inconsequential. Focus on your daughter and making a relationship between you and your daughter's father strong. Don't risk beef over a robe that doesn't even belong to you and means nothing. It's merely an item. It's merely just, physical item that you can you could even buy yourself. So as they're ending, there another namaste moment. I believe it was Aunt Liz said, was it Aunt Liz or Lena? I don't know. Somebody said, no, I think it was Aunt Liz that said, while either when Porsha was talking, that Lauren had her toes curled, that what's going on with you? Can you share? Tell us what's up. And then Lauren goes on to say, you know what? I feel like we still have some unresolved issues because when I worked for you, I didn't feel like I was appreciated by you. I could have told y'all first episode. That was still there. Because apparently it looks like people close to Porsha can't really speak with her or communicate with her openly without her taking offense. And there are people like that. They don't want to hear the truth. They want yes people around them. And so clearly you've not had that moment with your sister. And even if you've attempted, because you can even attempt to have a moment like that, and the person's not receptive, they go into drama mode, screaming, shouting, or maybe not even talking. I think I remember her saying, was it the first or the second episode that, anytime Porsha heard something that she didn't like, she would switch off and not talk with you. So it's no surprise here that there's still some unresolved issues because Porsha don't want to deal with it. You don't tell her, telling her what she don't want to hear, then she don't want to hear it. And she's not in that space, I guess, emotionally or mentally to actually be able to analyze and listen, because the listening is for her own healing, not for the other person, because there are some stop signs there that she needs to go by, but she needs to know why they're there. Why do you only require people who do what you want? Why can't you hear the truth? So that's going to be continued. That's something that's probably going to come up. There's something all there because the fact that, Lauren, you'd see her in the Real Housewives of Atlanta episodes. There was some some tension, underlying tension that was there. But, I guess eventually she got tired of it. I guess they no longer do any business together, so to say, as she has told us at the beginning of the show. So we have the second dinner 2, night 2. Nothing to tell you here, folks. Everybody shows up eventually. And of course, Dennis is missing. His lady friend is here. I think they call it the lady Erica. So why? And apparently, I guess it makes sense now why he thought it would be a good idea to bring his lady friend, not just because he was bored, but because apparently her birthday fell on the dates of this, retreat in Mexico. So he wanted to make something of it, make, his lady friend feel special. Well, now we know lady friend is called Erica, so he wanted to make Erica feel special. So he flew her out here. He flewed her out here. You know how the kids say. He flew her out here and decided to take her to dinner somewhere else. And that became like a whole issue, Lauren takes Porsha over to the side to make sure that, Porsha knows that, checking in. Simon knew that, Dennis had a lady friend coming. Do you know about it? And I think almost maybe Porsha doesn't mind as much. And the editing is playing it up because they need to make something interesting out of this whole show because there's not much popping, not much is gelling, not much is hitting, not much is bussing, so far in these clips that they have on the ground. So they're trying to make something of nothing. Maybe she's not really bothered, but yeah. So, seeing with the texting to Gina talk about he's got a date. What's crazy about him having a date? Sis, like, you on top of somebody already. Like, can you leave this dude? Like, oh. Anyway, so trying to make something out of nothing. But, and all of this editing, there's a scene when when she's talking with Lauren, and all of a sudden she's talking about how unresolved issues with Gina. And it seems just kind of displaced or out of place. Like, okay, we're talking about Dennis, you're talking about Gina, like, or Grandma Gina, like, are you misplacing, is this misplaced aggression? Do you really want to be mad at, Dennis, but you want to transfer it to Miss Gina for now, so you don't look crazy to your fiance? Because your fiance about to blow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, get it together, sis. You wanted a millionaire, you got one, but reportedly a millionaire. I don't know his bank account. I know nothing about his businesses and the rumors on the street, but that's not my business. So yeah, you wanted to be with a millionaire, but I do believe that Dennis is considered a millionaire too, and his source of income is more confirmable. But anyway, apparently, Simon's got more. So you got what you want, but now, you know what Nigerians say, face your front? Because you keep doing this, face your front. Just what you pick, sit with it for a second. Just not what you want, then speak up. Let's stop going back and forth, the seesaw. Because by the time you figure it out, Dennis will be gone forever. Because he's still lurking around, but by the time he's done, he finds someone who's more authentic and more sincere than you, but still has an interesting outer package. He's gone. So Porsha, you're not sure. You need to sit with yourself and figure it out. So in the midst of this, Lauren has a little confessional where she's like, rightfully so, like, yo, Porsha, get your act together. You don't want Simon to see all this. Like, Simon's seeing it now. I wonder what Simon's thinking. Look, Simon, they hold you. So they're pining for somebody else, because they look like pining to me, if you ask me. And even everybody being shady. Like, I don't know, like, because they do have script writers for these shows, right? So, like, they've got this all laced up, because apparently word on the street is that they had, Porsha back in the confessionals to beef this stuff up. So, clearly, she's playing a party to it. She may not be into him at all, but they need to play something for people to watch. I don't know what the numbers are like, but maybe they're not so great. But anyway, I digress. So, producer asked Porsha a shady question during the confessional. Talk about, yo, if you were to meet, Dennis's lady friend, would you embrace her? And she talk about somebody, yeah, she don't want to be tested. She's not that some like, sis, you're wearing a big rock on your finger. Like, is it real? Or is it, zirconium? I don't know. Like, you don't have to hug her, but you give her a pound. Like, what's your beef with her? She's not the one that broke up your relationship. I don't know if this PTSD that Porsha is going to sell to us soon. It's all in an effort to keep this show dragging. So let's keep dragging with. So it looked like something is going to come up. Again, they're going to drag the dinner for another episode. Some involving Stormy, some stuff, because they start having this conversation, try and start having a settling conversation again this evening, and there's some back and forth between Lundy and Stormy, like, and this is what happens when children don't get the discipline they need at the right age. They don't know how to act. They have no respect for authority, and they just let loose. And so people are saying that maybe Lundy should be the bigger person. I get it. But is this going to learn a lesson? And the thing is, sometimes, and this is what I believe, like, when you don't learn a lesson, the situations continue to present themselves to you. And each time it gets louder and louder and louder. So if you don't learn those lessons in your childhood, the cost of those mistakes become more and more expensive. So if Stormy is not careful, maybe she's 19, 20, 21 or something, as she's refusing to learn the lessons she needs, as she continues to go on, the cost of those mistakes are going to cost her more and more. So maybe this show is going to help her figure it out. Because she's by all means intense. She's an attractive young girl, but you ugly on the inside, that ugly come on to the outside. Anyway, guys, this is the end of the episode. Dinner 2. Look like there's about to be some beef coming up. Let's see. Is there really some beef, or is it just manufactured beef? Look like there's some kind of... So, guys, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And Lola, over and out.